I'm back again for the next step in the series of how to use your brand new Husqvarna Viking quilt binder. And I have already got my binding, which I cut at 1 3/4 inches, and I've inserted it into my quilt binder tool with the wrong side of the fabric facing you. It does sound a little odd, but trust me, it works. And I just want to point out that you want to make sure that you pay attention to this, how it feeds through the weaving mechanism, because your fabric is so flimsy, it does have a small tendency to want to twist, which will really cause you grief if you don't catch it. So just kind of keep it and make sure that it stays feeding through nice and flat. I've also pre-threaded my quilt binder, and you can see that I have it sitting inside that little U that I pointed out earlier. Now I have my little quilt sandwich, and I'm simply going to slide it into my quilt binder. And this is a little awkward. I got to get my hands back there because I want to get it lined up. So I've got it all nice and snug. And I find it very easy to make sure that I have my presser foot all the way up in the extra lift position. It just gives me a little bit more room. So I have it all set up and I'm ready to go. So I'm going to put my presser foot down so it doesn't shift on me. Now the next thing I want to do is, if my needle is not close enough to the edge of my binding, I can always go into my sewing machine and I can adjust the position of my needle by pressing the plus or the minus button. And I find around -5, -1.8 is appropriate. And I'm ready to go. So hold on to your hats. Watch this. I'm going to start sewing, and all I want to do is just guide it through, and I'm just going to make sure that my binding fabric is feeding through nice and smooth through my binding tool. And I'm going to sew all the way to the very end of my quilt, and then we're going to come back on a separate video to show you how to do the corner, because I know that's what everybody here wants to know. And when I get to the end, I'm simply going to press my fix and my stop, and I'm going to do a locking stitch, and the machine stops, and then I'm going to press my thread snips, and we're now ready to turn the corner. And I invite you to come back to the next video so that I can show you exactly how to do that. This is Jackie from Myers Stitch and Post.